Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Mimi here with another tutorial which I hope you'll give a try. If you watched one of my previous videos, I shared some mini book charms that I created using some Tilda scraps. Many of you commented that you wanted to make some of your own, so I thought I'd share my process on how I created mine. Here's a look at one of the previous charms that I created. This is what we'll be recreating today in this video. So go ahead and grab your supplies and let's get started. First, we'll need to go ahead and create the book pages. I'll be using 65-pound white cardstock, and I will cut my pieces to 7/8 of an inch by 1 inch. Right now, I'm just using my Tim Holtz guillotine trimmer to cut 1-inch strips, and then I will cut the strips individually. The number you'll need will depend on how thick you want to make your mini book, and that is totally up to you. Typically, when I make mine, I use about 39 to 40 when using the 65-pound weight cardstock. Your number might change if you're using a lighter weight type of paper, such as copy paper, to create your pages. Once you have all your pages cut, just make sure to stack them up really neatly, and we'll go ahead and glue the pages together. To make sure that I have them straight and level, I use a binder clip to hold it in place so I can apply the glue. I'll be using my Barely Art glue on the opposite side of where I clip the pages together, and I just use my finger to spread the glue along the entire spine. I also go ahead and sort of fan out the pages so that the glue gets in around each of the pages. I'll then take the binder clip on the opposite end and put it on the area that we just glued until the glue sets. When it's all dry, the pages will all be attached like this. Let's go ahead and set this aside and we'll create the book cover. You'll need 3 pieces of chipboard. Cut 2 pieces to 1 inch by 1 1/8 inch for the front and back covers. For the spine piece, the length will be 1 1/8 inches, but the width will depend on how thick your pages are. I normally cut mine to about 3/8 of an inch. You can also just go ahead and measure out your spine piece after you've created your pages. To wrap our chipboard pieces, we'll need some pattern paper. Cut a piece measuring 3 1/4 by 2 inches, another piece that measures 2 1/8 by 7/8 of an inch, and a really small piece cut to 1/4 by about 2 inches. This will be the strap for the closure. Take the outer wrap piece and lay it face down on your work surface. We'll first adhere the spine piece by eyeballing the center, making sure to leave the same amount of space above and below. Next, go ahead and adhere the front and back pieces, making sure to leave a small gap next to the spine piece so that it'll fold up nicely and not crack. Usually I leave about the width of the chipboard I'm using. Also, make sure the top and the bottom line up next to the spine. These are the same steps you take to create a chipboard mini album cover, so if you've made them in the past, I'm sure you're familiar with this process. But just in case you're a newer crafter, I wanted you to be able to create this. Go ahead and run your bone folder along the edge of the chipboard. This will help when wrapping the pattern paper. Now take a 1/4 inch double-sided tape and adhere it along the edges of the pattern paper. We'll now need to miter the corners to get rid of some bulk. Make sure to leave a little bit of an overhang right at the corner, just like this. Go ahead and make this cut on the remaining 3 corners. I'm now going to pre-fold all 4 edges before adhering them down. Now I'm removing the release paper off of the double-sided tape. I usually adhere the long sides first and then the two shorter sides. When you get to the corner, I use my fingernail to sort of tuck the excess paper before adhering the side. Take your closure strap and we'll adhere it to the end of the inside back cover. Using this on the inside will mean your book will not open and close. If you do want it to open and close, you'll skip this step and add a closure to the outside instead. Now take the inside mat piece and center it on the inside of the book. This should cover up the rest of the exposed chipboard nicely. If you'll be keeping the book closed, you'll need to leave the opposite end of this piece unadhered, and you'll see why when we get to that step. Now go ahead and gently fold each side next to the spine so that we can eventually close the book. Take your time on this step so that you don't crack or rip any of the pattern paper. Before attaching the book pages, we'll need to create a hanger to attach a jump ring. You can do this one of two ways. Option 1 is to adhere an eye pin to the middle of the spine. Option number 2 is using a teeny tiny eye screw after the book is already assembled. Let's start with the eye pin. As you can see, my eye pin is way too long. I'll go ahead and use my wire cutters to snip off the portion at the end. I'll attach this using a small bead of hot glue down the center of the book and placing it with the eye just above the back of the spine. To glue the pages into the spine, I'll add a little bit of hot glue and quickly place the pages on top, pressing it firmly into place. Then go ahead and hold it there until the glue sets. Fold the closure strap over and around the pages to get the proper length that we'll need. I'll then go ahead and cut off the excess and then add some liquid glue to the remaining unadhered mat piece as well as the other end of the closure strap. I'll go ahead and also add a little bit of hot glue to get an instant bond. Make sure to go ahead and hold this in place very tightly until the glue sets. You can also go ahead and add a binder clip to it if you don't want to hold it in place. After all the glue dries, your mini book charm is now complete. Look how cute it is! I'm now going to go ahead and decorate my mini book. This is totally optional, you don't have to do this step, but I think it adds a little bit more character to this tiny charm. So I'm just going to have you listen to some music and watch me go ahead and decorate this little mini book that we just created. For the charm dangle, you'll need a lobster clasp, a small piece of chain that measures about 2.5 inches, and a few jump rings. I've already gone ahead and assembled the majority of the items off screen to save some time. I created a small bow using my cottage cuts die and attached a bail on the back to make it a charm. Here's a simple 3-bead cluster that we'll be adding as well. And lastly, we'll be adding this sequin bubble charm near the top. You can go ahead and add these items anywhere on the chain that you'd like, but I normally take my bow and open the jump ring and add it to the third link from the bottom. That way it'll sit right above where our book charm will go. Then I take the 3-bead cluster that I've added a jump ring to, and then I will add that either 1 or 2 links above where I put the bow. Now I'll be attaching this bubble charm at the very top right underneath where the jump ring is to connect my lobster clasp. Now we'll take one last jump ring and add it to the mini book charm that we created, and then we'll add it to the very end of the chain. And here is your mini book charm dangle all finished. I think it came out super cute. I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial and found it helpful. So I wanted to do a quick giveaway for those of you still watching this video. First of all, I wanted to say a great big thank you, and I really appreciate your support. So I'll be giving away the mini book charm dangle that we created in this video, along with 3 others that I've created previously. So in total, I will be picking 4 of you to receive one of these super cute mini book charm dangles. If you would like to be entered, you must be at least 18 years old, subscribe to my channel, and live in the US. All you have to do to be entered is to leave a comment down below and include the word hopeful so that I know you would like to be entered. Please make sure to give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already done so. I hope you all have an amazing day, and until next time, bye!